It is time for one of our famous Cowboys mailbags. This is post-game after a bad showing by the Cowboys offense against Kansas City, and I can't wait to see the wild overreactions coming out of this one. All right, first up from Duane Jackson. The O-line is not opening up holes for Zeke and Pollard last few weeks. Will this be a problem in the stretch run? I agree. I think the O-line has not run the ball all that well the past couple of, or the offense has not run the ball all that well the past few games. It has been a problem for them. Their one big run against the Chiefs was that Tony Pollard option play. That should be a red flag. From Byron Joe Da-veed, is it me or did it seem like the Cowboys were winning the game? So I think the Cowboys' game plan for much of the week was built around having Tyron Smith and Amari Cooper. When they didn't have those two guys, I think they really pulled back and dialed back and tried to just dial it in and make it simple. They did not trust the O-line, and they did not trust their receivers to win vertically. They wanted to win with yak. That's why there were so many shorter throws and plays. And the Cowboys' yak game was non-existent. I mean, you saw Cedric Wilson make a big run earlier this year, did nothing in this one until kind of late, had a couple big drops. Everything kind of went poorly for the offense. I thought it was a very conservative game plan, and I didn't like that. And I will say this, that's the first time I've said that in a long time with Kellen Moore at the helmet as OC. From Troy Hernandez, Jerry needs to retire. He never makes any moves. You guys are not going to like the Stephen Jones era then, guys, because Stephen Jones and Will McClay are heavily involved. And Stephen, Catboy, has some pretty big influence on this team. Jerry is not Al Davis. He listens to everyone else around him now. From my burner account, can our fans stop overhyping Gallup wide receiver 2 at best? 10 targets, 5 receptions, 44 yards, some miscommunication between Gallup and Dak at points in this one. When Lamb went down, it was pretty clear, I think, that Gallup was going to be the focal point for the Chiefs' defense, and that really hurt them in the end. I do think he's more of a wide receiver. He's not a premier wide receiver one. Just wasn't his day in the end. From Brody, I think the play calling was a problem. I think it was pretty bad on offense. It was not good. The play calling, again, I thought was very conservative. I think a big factor in that was this element, that the Cowboys didn't have Tyron Smith. Then Amari Cooper had that change late in the week. I think that really threw off their timing. So the concern is totally valid. I don't think it's fair to ignore what has been an otherwise very solid overall 10-game sample size in the favor of 20% of the games. I think throwing out 80% of your results is a really bad process. I'm not saying you're not doing that, Brody. I'm not saying you are. But I think overall, that's not the route you really want to go. So what is your confidence level then in the Cowboys? Scale this for me, 1 to 10. 1 being you are in full-fledged meltdown mode. Season is over. 10 being you think this team is still in the Super Bowl. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, and out of the comment section and type your responses. Cheese Wiener. Okay. Missing Tank, Gregory, Lamb, and Amari, not too upset. I'll take it one step further. You were also down, by the way, Neville Gallimore, and you were down Tyron Smith. So you were down 6 of your 22 starters. You were down 27% of your starting lineup. That's an excuse, not a reason, but I think it's a valid point to bring up there. Cheese Wiener. From Raven Ruiz, I think game is different if Dak hits Gallup to start the game. Yeah, maybe. That was not going to be a touchdown. It was going to be a big pickup, though. It might be a different game if Noah Brown can catch a football. There were a lot of different points that it could have been a big moment here for the Cowboys to make a big-time play in the end. It just never quite turned out in the end. Just keep it the cutoff one there, Jeremy. You're good. All right, from Cowboys Sports Report by Charles in Charge, Dak's $75 million this year is a joke. He can beat up on bad teams, but versus competition between 2 receivers, so what? Rodgers goes to Arizona without a ton of weapons, and gets the win. Don't be shocked in 4 days. So Charles in charge here, not happy about the Dak Prescott, which is fair. I mean, I get where he's coming from. It would also help if his receivers could, catch some passes. Rodgers did have 2 touchdowns. He threw for 184 in that game. If your O-line could allow you to run for 151, maybe a different conversation as well. By the way, show me a quarterback this year who has not had a clunker. Every single one. Even Rodgers, he was shit in week 1. Every quarterback, guys, has bad games. It happens. Oh, by the way, Dak played pretty well against teams like, against the Patriots, for example. The Patriots who are a well above 500 team. So you can ignore 80% and talk about 20%. That's fine. It's a bad faith argument, though. From Phillip Hensley, will the O-line be healthy for the playoffs? I hope so. Hope Tyron's out there. You kind of need him because it wasn't a good showing by the O-line across the board, which is a big-time problem. From Jason Johnson, playing teams that are above 100 teams don't play well with them might be implications for the playoffs. So the Cowboys this year have played 4 teams that are above 500 right now. Those 4 teams, and I will read them out as follows here. The Bucs in week 1, Chargers in week 2, Patriots back in week whatever, and the Chiefs most recently. Those are the teams that Dallas has played that are above 500. Now, you've also got, by the way, the Broncos and Vikings who are hovering around 500. You lost against the Bucs and Chiefs. You blew out the Patriots, and you beat the Chargers. By the way, all of those games on the road. Keep that in mind as well. So, yes, it is a lot tougher to beat those better teams. Here's the good news for you in the regular season. You don't have that many games left against those above 500 squads. Today's show, powered by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. And until Thursday, end of kickoff here, Thursday, head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys125 and get a 125% deposit bonus. That is promo code Cowboys125, chatsports.com/bet, and a free Cowboys jersey. When you follow those instructions, got to use the URL, got to use the promo code. Sign up and deposit at least $100. It'll get you the deposit bonus. And then email us, jersey@chatsports.com. We have Dak Prescott in the color rush and the navy. Just the color rush for Dak. My bad. Only this version for Dak. But for CeeDee Lamb and Ezekiel Elliott, we have the color rush and the navy. Both of those for both players there. If you have questions, email us, jersey@chatsports.com. We'll get you guys hooked up with the Cowboys deal if you deposit $100 with BetUS. Don Webster. What adjustments the offense in the second half? I saw none. They played Noah Brown a lot less. That was certainly one of them in the end. When your receivers can't get open and your offensive line can't block, there's really a limited amount of what you're able to do in terms of the offensive adjustments. I would have liked to chip more, but when Chris Jones is blowing you up from the middle, what are you going to do? From JJ the Mime, which I believe this was a super chat. Thank you, Jeremy. I'm guessing everyone is finna claim Dak because that was money anymore. Can't wait to hear Skip Bayless. Yeah, Skip's a clown, so ignore him. From Mark, another super chat. Easy to block lame teams, score on lame defenses, play talent we generally lose. In the 90s, was we beat good teams. Life is much more difficult against better teams. That is absolutely fair. You have to play better against those better teams. That's a big factor as well. It's disappointing. Still early. Don't fully panic quite yet. From Cowboys Sport Report by Charles in Charge, only Patriots is this scheme. It doesn't have everyone healthy. You can't get it done. Or even so, Casey under 20. I mean, again, you're just ignoring the one that points opposite of your argument, right? Again, you're just like saying, well, if I only pick and choose 2 games. The 1 game this year, he played great against the Bucs, which of course was in a losing effort. Didn't play good against the Broncos, which I think we saw them all kind of shit the bed. I don't think it's fair. It's fair to have complaints. I get that. I understand where you're coming from. It's also not fair to say, well, yeah, if you ignore the other game they played against a good team, well, then he's bad. Doesn't really seem like a fair argument in the end. All right, if you guys want free Cowboys videos every single day, hit that big red button and subscribe. News, rumors, reaction, all that stuff right here on the Cowboys Report as the meltdown continues here in the live chat. From Duane, a super chat. Thank you, Duane. Will Collins be back next season or be a cap casualty or restructure? Or look for a left tackle in the draft? I think you got to look for gotta look for some better help on the offensive line. You got to look at least at the draft. Collins, we'll see on that one. From Coop Numba 19. Oh, that didn't age well today. Dak gets blamed for anything and everything. If Mahomes lost to Hill and Kelsey and his line played like crap, he'd look bad too. The fair or not nature of high-paid quarterbacks is that they get the blame when things go bad and the credit when things go good, even if it's not only their fault. Dak did not play well enough today against the Chiefs. A lot of players didn't play well enough against the Chiefs either. It's tough to win games when you got all these different players playing poorly. Cowboys against the Broncos and Chiefs wasn't just one guy playing bad. It wasn't just one mistake. It was, hey, the entire unit didn't have it. That is a real problem. Burner account worried about the Eagles, who are only 2.5 behind. The Eagles' schedule is fairly easy, but the Cowboys have 3 games left against Washington, New York, and Washington again, plus 1 against Arizona, which will be a tough one, plus Philly, Raiders, and Saints. I would not be surprised if the Eagles make a playoff push. Dallas also beat them by 20 a couple weeks ago. So if you're worried about them being a playoff team, yes. As a team that could win the division from you, not really. I want you guys now to predict the Cowboys' record this year. Because if the Cowboys don't win the division, it's their fault, not Philly's fault. Or credit, I should say. So predict the Cowboys' record this year. Get those votes in for me in the comments section. Roberto Pol, concerned. Cowboys' O-line failures, physical teams in the trenches, and they are not opening up holes. So it's a change to a finessing instead of pulling and trapping. I feel like you mean like more outside zone? They've run that a decent amount at points this year. But an entire offensive philosophical change mid-season? Nah, that's probably too much to ask for. American Hiker 96, have to win next to anywhere in my opinion. Look, obviously I am being the voice of like everyone calm down. If you lose to the Raiders and the Saints, that's bad. You shouldn't lose those games. But you do got to start winning if you're down. Which is what we said after the Bucs game, and then they rattled off 6 straight. So it's a long season, guys. Everyone relax. Big Cliff Dog 3. Why did Williams get benched? The penalties were a problem. Way too many of those. He didn't play very well against the Falcons, I didn't think. I think the Cowboys staff felt pretty similarly. McGovern had done awesome in that fullback, hybrid, H-back, whatever big Hulk package role you want to call it. But they wanted to give him a chance, and it didn't go very well. And I wonder if they will reevaluate or not. Brokov, I know hate Garrett, but he's actually got everything Mike controls. Hired the wrong guy. Is he, though? Because my complaint with this offensive performance by Dallas was that it was a not good performance. It was a conservative Garrett-esque performance there. Like, that's my mindset. Like, Garrett was not the right guy. McCarthy might not be the right guy either, but in general, he is more aggressive, and he's had the team ready to go for the majority of the games this year. King Trill, with possibly Coop and Lamb out for Thanksgiving, who will step up? Does Jarwin come back? Probably not. He hasn't practiced yet. I doubt that one. Gallup, Wilson, Malik Turner? I don't know what they will end up doing from that perspective. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. From Mark, 2018-2020, we beat 4 winning teams: New Orleans, Rams, Philly, and Minnesota. Injuries hurt us, but Brady won a Super Bowl with Sony, injured Edelman, and Gronk, overpaid quarterback. He's not overpaid, though, guys. Like, we can do this game with every quarterback out there. Guys, Josh Allen was the MVP favorite entering today, and he actually hasn't played that well. And he laid a clunker against the Colts. He was as bad, if not worse, than Prescott was. So the going rate for a quarterback is the going rate. All the top quarterbacks here, you can go look at what Matthew Stafford's done the past couple games. They've all laid eggs. Don't lose the forest and the trees, where the overall has been good this season. Now, if we did not get to your question, I'm sorry, there were oh so many. Hit me up on Twitter at whatgoingdowny. My DMs are open. I'll probably answer them later on in the week because, I got a baby to take care of. But I will get to them, I promise. Hit me up on Twitter at whatgoingdowny.